So if you're already ranked number 1 or 2 organically, do you still typically go for the top of search with your ad spend? That is a good question. It depends on the performance of that. So if you're getting really good top of search performance, and when I say performance, I mean in terms of sales, and ACoS is something that you can sustain at top of search, I don't really see an issue with going after that if that's where the performance is. Now, where I wouldn't recommend going after the top ad spots is if you're already ranked 1 and 2, and then you are having to run at that top of search placement with an ACoS that just doesn't make sense from a sustainability or profitability standpoint. In that case, I would test, lowering bids. Can I pay a little bit less? Can I get a little bit more profitability? And then what you want to do in relation to those changes is you watch your keyword rankings on those targets that you're making those adjustments to, and then you would watch your sales trends of the overall product. You're not going to be able to get sales on a per search level. I know there's search query performance report, which I just saw a question pop in the screen about search query performance, so that's awesome. I'll make sure to get to that one. But I would you're not going to be able to get that granular, but what you can get an idea of is what, again, are my overall sales trends, and if that's a keyword that is very important to sort of the sales of your brand, then if you start to drop off, you'll also see that impact to the total sales. So I would watch those two things whenever I'm making changes. And another pro tip is if you have something that you're ranked very well on, and you're trying to figure out like, okay, I feel like I really should lower my ad spend here because I'm already ranked well. I never recommend making very significant changes to things that are very important to the sales of your brand. Meaning, if it is a main keyword and you're wanting to test something, do not test just pausing it. You want to slowly dial down the knob, mostly in the form of adjusting bids slightly lower or potentially capping your budgets for that campaign to see what the impact is. Of course, just slightly lowering the ad spend, and that way you shouldn't like completely drop off the page. You would just see a slight drop off. Now, how significant and how fast of a drop off you see with, again, dialing down what you're doing with main keywords will depend on how competitive that keywords are. There are some keywords where you dial it down just a smidge and you're just off the map, versus other ones you just see sort of a slow decline or just sort of it just kind of equalizes.